Okay, everybody's talking about Hermes Agent for a good reason, but here's what they're not telling you. I've been using Hermes Agent for over 2 months now, not as a reviewer, but as an actual user. It helps me with my business. I've seen a lot of videos about Hermes Agent, but nobody really mentions this part, and it's really important. And by the end of this video, I will share with you the mistakes I made, which made things much harder and cost me more money than it should. But first, I want to go over what is Hermes Agent. The goal of my channel is understanding. I want people to understand how to use tech, how to use AI, how to make money with AI. So I want to explain what Hermes is first. If you already know what Hermes is, I'll leave the timestamps in the description or on the screen where you can just fast forward to the experience. Now, Hermes Agent is very similar to what you've seen in movies like Iron Man, who has Jarvis, or Friday. You can talk to it, text it. It actually remembers who you are and what you like. It's not like Siri or Alexa, who forgets everything the second you start talking. It can write code for you, search things on the web for you. It can even control your computer and post on social media for you. But here's the thing. The agent doesn't work by itself. Think of it like a video game. The Hermes Agent is the console. It's the system that runs everything, connects everything, and makes things happen. But consoles are useless without a game cartridge, right? That game cartridge is a large language model that you have to plug in to the console to make it work. It's the brain that actually understands your words, thinks about what you've said, and figures out what to do. Hermes Agent is the body, the LLM is the brain. You need both to make it work. The coolest part is that it's free and that it's open source, so anybody can use it and add to the experience and make it better. And you can swap out different brains, LLMs, depending on what you need. It's like having a personal assistant that never sleeps, never complains, and actually gets stuff done. Okay, what surprised me about Hermes Agent is the memory. It's not perfect, but it's pretty good. You can schedule tasks, aka cron jobs. You can create images, and it can post on social media for you, and I'll explain that in a little bit. And one of my favorite features, whether I'm at home or at night when I'm out DoorDashing, is I can talk to it through Telegram. And Telegram, I can use voice. So it can talk to me, and I can talk to it while I keep my eyes on the road, and I can give it tasks. So I'm able to work on my business while I'm out making money at night. And that is a very, very helpful feature. And it's really cool. It makes my videos, it saves my receipts for taxes, and it gets things done while I sleep, literally. I am a tech guy, but you don't have to be a tech person to use this. I actually talk to Hermes Agent and OpenClaw. I use both. I talk to them probably more than anybody else. Okay, now here's the part that nobody talks about. They just kind of skip over it and assume that you have unlimited amounts of money. I'm on a strict budget, so I was trying to find ways to get things done cheap. I know $20 doesn't seem like a lot, but it is to me. So yes, Hermes is free, but the brain isn't. And picking the right brain matters. And that's where I made my mistake. You need to understand that not all LLMs can see images. You can give an image to ChatGPT, to Claude, and to Gemini, and it can read the image for you and tell you what it sees. But these other models, they can't do that. They don't have vision. And other videos talking about how you can run it locally. Well, that's fine if you just want to do some administrative type things, emails, calendar, things like that. But if you're trying to do coding or create videos or social media content like I'm doing, Gemma 4 struggles. That's my experience. I tried using Gemma 4 to create my Remotion videos, and it kept locking up. So I finally had to switch models. And so that's where I made my mistake. I tried to go the cheap route. I tried to use OpenRouter, which is good, but I only put $10 in, and I chose a cheap model to try to get things set up for my workflow, things I like to do. And the cheaper models aren't as smart as the big models like Claude, ChatGPT, Gemini. So the result is trial and error, having to redo things, having to say, well, I don't like this. Can you redo that? Or can you fix this? This is messed up. Can you not see that? All these frustrations led to having to repeat things, which means costing more money. So instead of paying $20 for Ollama Pro Cloud, I ended up spending like $30 with OpenRouter, trying to get things set up, and it still didn't work. So I finally had to break down, pay $20 to Ollama Pro Cloud. That way I have access to the bigger models. Yes, they have session limits, but it's more than enough to get things set up. Okay, so think of it like this. Think of an assembly line. really smart people, the big brand people, they built the assembly line, each line, how it works, how things are set up, and so forth. But once it's set up, you don't need a big brain to actually run it. You see what I'm getting at? So what I should have done is paid the $20 for Ollama Pro in the beginning, or if you got more money, use Anthropic Claude key, Opus or Sonnet. Opus is better. Obviously, Fable 5 is the best, but using an Opus model to get your workflow set up correctly, it will be less trial and error. Yes, it's more money, but it will save you money because it will save you time. So the big model can get things set up for you. And then once you get it all set up, then you can switch to cheaper models. And another thing I've learned in my experience is that Gemini, Perplexity, ChatGPT, they really don't understand these large language models. Because I was getting recommendations from Perplexity to use this for this, and it didn't work. That advice was not sound. So be careful trusting Claude or Perplexity, ChatGPT when they say this is the best model for spreadsheets or for Remotion videos or for creating apps. It could be true, but it may not be because this is all still new. And because of competition, which is a good thing for us, more models are coming out every week, and it's hard to catch up. It's hard to keep up, actually. That's what I meant to say. Yeah, it's hard to keep up with all these different models. Find you one that works and stick with it until you get your setup the way you want it. Then you can switch around. If I'm getting towards the end of the week with my Ollama Pro Cloud plan, I'll switch to a bigger model like GLM 5.1 because it's faster and it can crunch through Remotion videos real easy. Yeah, it costs more, but if I'm at the end of the week and I got plenty of space or plenty of whatever, time or money, whatever, however you want to call it, I'll use a bigger model like that. Same thing with Claude. So once again, hopefully I didn't confuse you. The best bet is to spend the money at the beginning to get things set up. And then you can switch to different models to just run your workflow. Now, earlier I mentioned how my Hermes Agent posts. Right now, it posts 4 times a day on my Facebook for me. It can do that because I use Blotato. I'm sure you've heard of Sabrina Romanoff by now. She is awesome. So I connected Blotato to Hermes Agent, which allows it to post to all my social media. Not gonna lie, it's pretty cool to be out DoorDashing at night and tell my Hermes Agent, hey, get the next tip ready and post it to this, this, and this, and this. And it does it all for you. It's pretty cool. So the other day, I wasn't feeling good, so I was laying down. But I wanted to install Google Antigravity on this PC back here, but I didn't want to get up. So I grabbed my phone, opened up Telegram, and I told Hermes Agent to install it. At first, it didn't understand what I meant. It thought I was playing a joke. I don't understand why. So I told it to search for Google's Antigravity. It found it. It started to install it as a terminal, but I had to tell it, no, I want the desktop app. It went ahead and installed the app, and it even opened up the app, and it was telling me, you should see it on your screen. But I was laying down, so I couldn't see it. That is where AI is taking us. And guys, I'm here for it. I love it. Now, if you don't want to install this on your PC, there are other ways. Hostinger is one way. You can install it on a VPS, a virtual private server. That way, your personal information is at no risk. Now, it does cost more money, but that is one way you can go. I have a spare PC that's not connected to me, so I'm not too concerned about it. But yeah, Hermes Agent has improved my production. I can't even tell you the percentage. It really is the best tool I've ever used. Earlier, I talked about Blotato and how I use it to connect to all my social media. And I'm going to leave a link in the description below. There's a free trial, like 5 days, I believe, if you want to try it out. Using that link doesn't hurt you. It doesn't cost you more, but it does give a little bit kickback to me. And I would appreciate that. Now, once again, I am not an expert. I am learning how to use all these AI tools. And if you want to join me on this journey, feel free to subscribe. Leave a comment if you have any questions. If I don't know the answer, I will tell you I don't know. I will not lie to you. Okay? Hit the notification bell and all that good stuff. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.